Yo, every day is chaos, and you have to fall in love with the madness, right? You have to be crazy in love with the madness because every day is chaos, right? Now, obviously, before I get into the point of this video, we're gonna acknowledge the fit: blue, yellow, white, and yellow pocket square. And let me lower the brightness of this light so you guys can better see it. And then we've got the blue light glasses, and then we've got the blue face watch and the brown leather. I don't really like how this looks on here because it drags the shirt down, but it makes the fit work. You could wear this with black pants, white pants, yellow pants, navy blue, even yellow. If you want to wear yellow, I'm not really gonna be somebody who wears yellow pants, because I just I don't I don't really like wearing yellow that much. This is like the only yellow shirt I have. But yeah, let's continue with the video. So, right, today was almost a chaotic day, but I understand that every day is chaos, right? And I understand that every day I need to be prepared for the chaos that can happen in the business as well as with my clients and so on, right? So today I let my biggest client and my biggest project, I let them know that I'm willing to do what is required, but I need them all to be on point, right? And I'm reading some of the notes that I have. So I let them know that I'm going to get tighter on my directions and get them all to do what's needed, right? I also let them know that I will do what's required to ensure that this project is successful, and if it means that I have to become a pain in all their ears, I will, right? Because I understand that the difference between a successful and a failed business is effort and energy, right? And I had to let them know this today because I'm not slipping, but they are slipping, right? And not all of them, but a few members on the team, right? There's a lot of things that need to be in place. There's a lot of systems that need to be in place, and there's a lot of, things that really need to get done. And a lot of, I say a lot, it's not a big team yet because, we're prepping for scale. But a few of the team members are taking forever to get their stuff done, right? And I would understand if you gave me a reason, but if you're giving me no reason as to why it's taking you so long, then what's the point? Because you've given me 2 to 3 deadlines already, yet you haven't delivered on those deadlines, right? It's like the other videos that I've made. Like, you need to stick by your word. You have to do what you say you're going to do. Very few people can actually do that. Even people like me, I'm 22, right? And I'm not going to say I'm perfect all the time, but I understand the way I view the world. If you have more life experience than me, you should understand some of these things, right? These things are fundamental. These things are important, but not everybody understands that, right? And not everybody sticks to that. Not everybody sticks by the same standards and mission and vision, right? Like, even today, I had to lay down the foundations on what is the values and what are the standards of this project, of the people that we're going to bring on the team, and how are we going to be perceived when they join the team? How are we going to treat them? How are we going to differentiate whether or not we want them on the team or not, right? So I'm actually going to pull that up so that I can quickly go over it with you guys, on some of the things that I did in terms of what their mission is supposed to look like. Not even the mission, just some values and standards that I set that they're going to edit, but for the most part I had to set the foundation for that so that they can start heading in the right directions in terms of the outlook on the people that we want inside of the company slash project, and people that we don't want, right? So let me actually open it up right now, and there we go. So obviously I'm not going to share my screen for this, but I will read them out loud. So in terms of values, right? So we have setting long-term goals, right? Giving back, open communication, comprehension, honesty, and ownership, asking for help and seeking clarity, not being afraid to make mistakes, just be sure to seek help and learn from them, and lastly, constantly thinking of how to improve situations, right? Very few people value these things. These are a lot of things that I value. I could say they're the primary things that I value when it comes to working with other people, how I view the project should be, how I view communication between the team members, communication between just your coworker, even if you communicate differently to somebody else, right? That's something that's extremely important that not very many people actually stick to, right? And actually listen to, and actually stay consistent with. And in terms of the standards, right? So I've set 5 primary standards, and these are gonna be added on over time. But for the most part, are 5 primary standards that we're always going to stick to and really just evaluate and analyze other people on. So 1, provide value to clients by selling exceptional products. 2, do the boring work now, not later. Very few people can actually comprehend this, right? Like, do the boring work now, not later, because whether you do it now, whether you do it later, it's still going to be boring, right? And it's still going to be long, and it's still going to be, annoying to get done. But as long as you do it now, you don't have to worry about doing it later, because guess what? You push it to later, you push it to later, you push it to later. That's a problem, right? And very few people operate on getting things done today, right? There's a lot of services, agencies out there, or other consultants and coaches out there where they tell you they're going to get something done for you, but they take a week to do it when they could have done it in a day. Why is it taking you a week to do something that you could do in a day, that you could do in a couple hours? It's speed, right? I'm actually gonna add speed on here as well, right? Because very few people understand speed. Money loves speed. Progress loves speed. How quickly can you get something done, and how quickly can you iterate on it, right? So speed is another one that I'm actually gonna go over with them tomorrow, right? Do the most challenging task first. That's another standard. Very few people are willing to do the most challenging task first. Now, I understand some people, they like to work up to the most challenging task. But believe me, when you start with the most challenging task, everything else gets easier. Because that's the longest piece of work that you got to do. That's the longest part of your day, whatever it is. You start with that, not everything else on your day. Easy peasy, and you just breeze through it, right? And then next is consistency. Get the job done even when you don't want to. Very few people are willing to stick by those words, right? Very few people are actually willing to do and get the job done even when they don't want to. And the more you can get over that hump, the more you can do what it takes to stay consistent, the more likely you are to succeed. It's like me with these YouTube videos. I think I'm almost on a 30-day streak now of uploading a daily YouTube video, right? And I'm not going to congratulate myself for 30 days because I've done that before, right? So when I get to 365 days of doing this consistently, then maybe I'll pat myself on the back for that. All right. And lastly, get it done now and perfect it later, right? So those are the 6 primary standards. Get it done now and perfect it later. Very few people, again, understand this concept. Stop pushing things to later. Stop trying to extend things. And you can see that a few of the standards actually blend, right? They go hand in hand. They're not just, completely different things that don't even go together. But you can see that they go together and that it makes sense for them to go together. Very few people understand that concept. Very few people understand these concepts, which is why companies fail, teams fail, projects fail, right? People go over deadlines. People don't stick to deadlines because very few people understand the standards, which is why today I had to lay that out, right? And I had to, I don't want to say put my foot down, right? But it was necessary to get that through to them so that they can start to abide by these standards, but also anyone else they want to bring along and work with them on this particular project, or even any other project, they can set that same standard for them, right? And so these little things matter so very much, and very few people can actually put them into practice, right? And so even recently, I decided on just the primary direction of this channel, right? Because over the last 30 days, I started to get a much better understanding on what I wanted to do, on exactly how I wanted to do the channel and what topics I wanted to speak on, and really just a clear, solid direction for the channel. And what I came up with was leadership, operations, mindset, and money, right? Those are going to be the 4 primary topics that I'm going to talk about. Obviously, I'm not going to put fashion and style as a topic because it's not like I'm teaching you guys fashion and style, even though I'm doing it subtly, right? You guys get to see what I wear, but you guys also get to see whenever I do the little, hey, this is what I'm wearing today, right? It's more so just me helping you guys get an understand of how you can look better and start to look better and start to upgrade your style. But it's not like I'm a a fashion coach or anything like that. It's just something that I do as a bonus to my content. But in terms of the direction of this channel, in terms of exactly what I plan on doing with this channel, and this also aligns with the other projects that I've got going on, right? So leadership, operations, mindset, and money. Now, under leadership, obviously, leading people, managing people, and under operations is building the right systems in your life, building the right systems in your business. And then mindset is how your outlook on the world completely depicts who you are, what you do, right? Because I've ever since my early days of content, I've just always spoken about mindset. It's something that I don't want to say I like to talk about it, but regardless of what I'm talking about, I always come back to mindset, right? And then money, obviously, so that you guys understand how to close deals, how to negotiate. So I'm also going to talk about negotiation because that falls under leadership. That also falls under money. And then, yeah, just making sure that you guys are staying efficient and you guys are staying on the right track, because this isn't supposed to be an easy process. This is supposed to be a painful process, but it just has to work once, right? And no one's ever gonna truly see how hard you work, but they will see how good you get, right? You guys might see that's a consistent theme in all of the videos. And the reason for that is I want you guys to truly get that through your heads, that it only has to work once, right? And you really just have to just stay consistent and keep pushing and keep going, and I don't want to say keep thriving, but get to the point where you are thriving so that you can keep thriving and stay consistent, and you're able to keep pushing, right? Because there's no room for lack of energy in anything that you're doing, right? Some of you watching this video, maybe you saw my Instagram story of just me being at the gym, right? I'm at a point now where I can compare how skinny I used to be, right? Like, even though in this suit I don't look that big, at least to me, looking at my reflection in the video, but it's there, right? The results are there from the gym, and it's only going to keep getting better. I'm not someone who's after size. Like I always say that I'm more or less after aesthetics. And again, the gym isn't an easy process. It's not a painless process. It's definitely a painful process. It's painful mentally. It's painful physically. But you have to do it if you want to win. You have to do it if you want to get to your goals. You have to do it if you want to get the things that you want, right? Because one of the primary things of just being in shape and looking good is respect. You automatically get respect one way or another when you look sharp, when you look strong, when you look respectable, when you look solid. Like, very few people look solid nowadays, right? Most people have you could say they're skinny or they're fat, right? And then if they're not, they probably have a dad bod, right? Nobody really wants a dad bod, but a lot of people end up with a dad bod, right? And again, it goes back to just not having any room for lack of energy, right? Because very few people can stay consistent and keep working in, day out, right? And understand that to do anything great, tremendous amounts of energy has to be spent, right? You want your peak physique? Well, it's going to take a lot of energy. You want peak income, where your income just keeps peaking and it keeps going up, going up, going up. It takes a tremendous amount of energy, right? And it doesn't happen in a short time span. I heard this concept recently. It's not, get rich quick isn't impossible, but getting rich easy is what most people confuse it with, right? You could get rich quick, like it happens overnight, right? But you put years of work for it to happen overnight. So you got rich quick, right? But when it comes to just getting rich easy, that's what's not easy. And very few people realize that. It's not about getting rich quick, and it's not about getting rich easy. I mean, it's about ensuring that you get rich for good, right? And the way you ensure that you get rich for good is by staying consistent and making sure you're taking the right actions every single day, right? Like in the community/program that we're about to launch, I've right, I'm not gonna say we, because I had to lay it out, and that's not to say that they couldn't help me do it, because I had to show it to them so that they can review it with me. But essentially, there's daily action steps. Oh, there's also this bracelet that matches the suit, right, and the shirt. So we've got blue, yellow, red, and black. But It's the bracelet from Colombia, and you know, it goes perfect with this outfit. I don't really wear bracelets like that, or whatever you call them where you're from. But yeah, so to continue, I laid out all the necessary daily tasks that someone who joins the community must do every single day if they truly want to see results, right? And I'm also creating an accountability tracker so that we ensure that everybody who's in the program and the community is being held accountable, right? And I even told my team members, I was like, look, I'm willing to kick people out of the community because it's not about how much they're paying us. It's, are they active and are they actually doing what they need to do in order to be inside of the community? Because that's a standard. We don't just want people that are joining and not participating and not doing anything. You must be a part of the community. Even if you're paying, no matter how much you're paying, you still need to be a participating member, because why be in something, why pay for something and not take it seriously, right? And another point is you have to truly love the fact that you get to build yourself like you get to build your business, right? This goes back to the same point. Every day is chaos, and you have to be crazy in love with the madness, because it gets crazy. It gets wild. A fire here, a fire there. You got to fire this person. You got to hire this person. You got to make rapid fire decisions. Very few people can do that. But the same way you're doing that for a business, you got to do it for yourself, right? You got to do it for your body. You got to do it for your mind. It's necessary. It's necessary for those of you that are looking to be exceptional, right? That's who it's necessary for, right? Because even with the stress that comes with all of that, very few people can handle that stress. Very few people can handle the stress that's currently in their lives. Yet they think that they can handle the stress of the money, the income that they want, of owning and having the car that they want, of living and keeping the house that they want, right? Even the relationship that they want. Very few people can do that. But it's building yourself every single day so that you get to a point where you're able to manage that stress. You're able to manage, the pain and the lack of direction and the constant stress that comes with just being at the next level, right? Because you have to be the person that's able to handle the next level before you get to the next level. Very few people can do that. Very few people understand what I just said. You have to be the person who can handle the next level before you get to the next level. Otherwise, you're never going to get to the next level. And if you some way, somehow get to the next level, you're going to lose it, right? That's extremely, extremely important to just comprehend and, keep that just really in the back of your head, right? So again, like I always say, you must play the game until you die, because it's an endless game if you truly want to be a winner. And if you want to be a winner, you got to become a winner amongst winners, because it's never a game and it's never a game over, right? Like, oh, you won. No, you win by being a winner amongst winners and by staying up there, because it's extremely easy to get to the top. Staying there is the difficult part, right? So you must play the game until you die, right? You must become exceptional mentally, physically, and financially. So hit that subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.